Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Home Sweet Holidays collection that recently launched, and I wanted to talk about the collection and what my thoughts were and run through each book with you. So if you are new to my channel you won't probably know, but I love reading seasonal novellas. If you have been watching my channel you'll probably have seen that I've done previous novella collection videos. So I've done one for Valentine's Day, I've done a couple for Halloween, and there'll be a few coming for Christmas as well. I absolutely love a seasonal novella. I love them as a way to explore new authors, read from authors that I've read from before, and just kind of get like a short story in, you know, consuming a book in just like a short matter of time. Particularly around the season, I think that seasonal ones, I think they give you a really good taste of kind of the seasonal flavour, like get a little bit burst of Christmas in a short space of time, and I just really love that. So I have done previous videos, as I mentioned, so I will leave those linked back down below about some of the other novellas I've talked about. We seem to be getting quite a lot of these collections. We've had, I think, a Valentine's Day one, a Christmas one in the past, we've had a Halloween one. This is obviously another Christmas one that's been recently done, and these are all available on Kindle Unlimited with the read and listen function, which I absolutely love. I listened to all of these on audio and I had a great time for the most part. So let's just talk about quickly the 4 books that are included in this collection. So we have Snow Place Like Home by Laura Pavlov, Merry and Bright by Ali Rosen, All Wrapped Up in You by Rosie Danan, and You Better Not Pout by Mia Sosa. So there are 4 books in this collection, or 4 novellas in this collection, and out of the 4 authors I had read from 3 of these before. Only one of these authors was new to me, and as I say, I had a good time with this collection. These definitely give you a taste of Christmas. Some are slightly more Christmassy than others, but they give you a little bit of taste of Christmas. One thing I will say is the covers for these are absolutely stunning. If they did like a bind up collection of these with like one of the covers, that would be awesome, because I love the cover. I think it's very pretty, very cute, and very Christmassy. These short stories are all pretty much no spice to like a little bit of spice. They're really very as the title suggests, sweet. They definitely lean into the sweet side of things rather than the spicy side of things, which is slightly different to some of the previous collections we've seen, and is a little bit surprising considering some of the authors that are included in here. Their books are typically more spicy, but I had a good time with these, and as an overall collection I would definitely recommend it. I definitely had my favourites from the collection, but overall I think they're short, so you might as well read them all in my opinion. So I'm going to run through the books and tell you a bit about them and my ratings. So first one was Snow Place Like Home by Laura Pavlov. I enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. Currently it's got a 3.50 on average rating on Goodreads. Typically novellas get lower ratings, I feel, because I personally give very few novellas 5 stars, and I guess other people are similar in that regard, because it's such a short story. It's very hard to kind of give it a 5 star because they're so, like, they're doing like so much in such a short space of time. But I did really enjoy this one, and I would say that Laura Pavlov is one of my favourite authors. So this one we are following Goldie and Ace, and this one is a brother's best friend romance. So Goldie's brother is getting married, and her brother and his bride are having a Christmas themed wedding. They're getting married on Christmas Day, and so the day before Christmas Eve they are having like a practice reception dinner thing, and everyone has to dress up as a holiday character or like something holiday themed for this wedding reception. And Goldie is one of the bridesmaids, and Ace, I'm pretty sure, is the best man, and so they obviously get thrown together quite a bit with kind of their wedding duties, and they've always kind of had an attraction to each other. They've known each other since they were children, but because obviously he was her brother's best friend, they were kind of off limits to one another, and they end up spending the night together the day before the wedding, and I really enjoyed this. It was very fun. It was, as I say, very sweet. There wasn't really any spice in this one, but I did really like the romance in here, and I had a good time with this one. This one was definitely one of my favourites from the collection. Then we have Miriam Bright by Ali Rosen, and this one I enjoyed also. I'd not read from this author before, so I did like seeing experiencing a new author, and she's definitely an author that I would be interested to maybe check out some of her other things. So this one I gave 4 stars to, and this has an average rating of 3.80 on Goodreads, but it has it only has like 10,000 ratings compared to Laura Pavlov's, which had 15,000, over 15,000. So there are slightly less ratings on this one. And this one is a fake dating situation. So fake dating and holiday romance seem to go hand in hand, and I absolutely love that. So in this one we have Miriam and Cal, and Miriam is Jewish and she's going home to her family for Hanukkah, and she wants to take a boyfriend home. So her and Cal enter into a fake dating situation, and they end up spending the holidays together, and Miriam's family kind of almost looks down on her a bit. She's definitely kind of treated not necessarily the best by her family, and Cal's really there to kind of step up and show her that he cares, even though initially it is all pretend. He even looks up, because obviously, as I say, her family is Jewish, his family is not, so he kind of researches what Hanukkah is like and what kind of traditions they have as part of that, to kind of show that he really does care. And she obviously then goes and spends Christmas with his family as well. And I just really like this one. I really like the chemistry between the two, and this one was a lot of fun. And yeah, as I say, fake dating and holiday romance definitely go hand in hand, and this one was a great time. Then we have All Wrapped Up in You by Rosie Dannon, and this one I gave 3 stars to, and this one has a 3.57 average rating on Goodreads. And this one is a neighbours romance, and this one follows Piper and Scott. So at the beginning of the book they live in the same kind of apartment building, and they kind of do things for each other, like take in parcels and do things like that, like as neighbours, but they've never really actually met one another, but they do kind of text each other, and kind of help each other out in a neighbourly way, but they haven't actually met each other. And Scott works as a doctor, so he works quite long hours and is often out of the house, and Piper, I don't know what her job is, but they never actually have met, and then they end up meeting at a club when Piper is having a bit of a panic attack outside, and obviously Scott is a doctor, so he kind of helps her through that, and they meet and they're obviously attracted to each other, but they don't realise that they are neighbours, and it's not until obviously towards the end of the novella that they find out actually this person that I've kind of was attracted to and have been texting are one and the same person. And this one was okay. This definitely wasn't my favourite. I feel like sometimes those romances where they don't know who the other person is, like when they're texting and things like that, I don't always love that, and I don't always love books that are like told in like text or emails, and there's a lot of like text exchanges that go on in this one, even though it's only a short novella, and that's just my personal taste. I don't like necessarily that writing format, so this one was just okay. It was still sweet, it was still fun, but not necessarily my favourite. And then the last one was You Better Not Pout by Mia Sosa. And this one I really didn't enjoy and gave 2 stars to. And it looks like everyone else that has been reading and rating this also didn't love this one as much, because this has an average rating of 3.08 and only 6,802 ratings for this one, compared to like Laura Pavlov's that had 15,000. So a lot less people have read this one, and they are the less people that have read it, they're also not loving this one, which is not great. But as I say, I didn't like this one, but you may be interested in it. So this one follows Juliana and Eric, and they are engaged, but they have recently split up, and they have to go home for the holidays, but they don't want to tell their families that they have split up. And it's all about them kind of rekindling their romance, but they've only been broken up for like a week, so it's not like it's second chance romance in terms of they've been like split up for a while. They've only been broken up a week, and I can't even remember why they broke up. I think it was because she was putting too much effort into work and not spending enough time with Eric, which I feel like is maybe should have just been like a conversation that they had rather than breaking up. So I didn't really like the whole setup for this one, because the reason for them breaking up didn't seem like, obviously, yes, that is something that people could break up about, but I feel like if you've recently got engaged and that is an issue that's coming up, like, you would probably have that as a conversation rather than immediately breaking up. And as I say, they'd only been broken up for a week, so I don't know if you can really class it as that. It's more like they just had an argument. But yeah, I didn't love this one, and I didn't necessarily I didn't think that this was necessarily Christmassy. Some of the other ones were a lot more Christmassy. Obviously, the first one had like the Christmas wedding, so there was a lot of like cakes and costumes and things like that, and a lot of Christmassy things, whereas this one didn't feel too Christmassy. And yeah, it just wasn't my favourite, unfortunately. And as I say, it looks like other people have had the same views on this one. So that was the collection. Obviously my favourites are the Laura Pavlov and the Ali Rosen. Rosen, and the Rosie Dana one was okay, and then the Mia Sosa one not so much. So at the order of rating, it was actually in the order of that I actually read them in. But I did have a good time with this collection, and I think if you want to check out some novellas for Christmas, this would be a good starting collection to check out. There has already been a previous collection, which I can't remember the name of it, but I'll leave it linked down below, and I'll put the name of the series on screen. So if you want to check out more holiday novellas, I would recommend going and checking out that collection. And I have also done a video about my favourite Christmas novellas, which again I'll leave linked down below if you want some more recommendations. And there will be one coming up of ones that I've read recently as well. So let me know what your favourite holiday romance novella is. If it's one that I've not already read, I would love to check it out, and I will see you in my next video.